Hey guys, I've been told about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline quite a few times over the past few years, and I figured we'd check out a review. So we're gonna watch SsethTzeentach review Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Welcome in. Sorry if I butchered his name.
Hey people, Seth here. Tonight I'll be covering one of my favorite RPGs, a cult classic that brings you back no matter how many times you finished it. Do you love
This game actually seems a lot older than I figured it was. I honestly thought this game was much newer, like very recent actually.
shopping at Hot Topic? Do you hate natural sunlight?
Oh my God,
Have you ever wanted to suck off a homeless? If you answered yes to any of those, then I know exactly the game for you.
For sure.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
So I'm starting to see why people like this game so
Released
much.
in 2004,
It's everything I want.
Troika Games, Bloodlines takes place in modern-day LA, but our
Like from
story
TV, okay.
begins in the Old Testament. So, to understand the lore, I'll need you all to whip out your Bibles and flip to Genesis 4. Remember Cain and Abel? In the Bible, the two brothers made offerings to God. Abel offered the Lord some lamb chops. Cain gave him some Weetabix or some shit. Naturally, God liked Abel's offer a lot more, so Cain disabled his brother by murdering him with a fucking rock. God was very unhappy with Cain for killing his brother. Nah, God doesn't give a shit. Cain's crime was murdering his brother and then having the audacity to lie to God. In the Bible, God punishes Cain to wander the earth. In Vampire the Masquerade, God punishes Cain by giving him superpowers.
Cain, for crimes against your creator and your fellow man, I sentence you to immortality. I'm also giving you super speed and super strength. You can also turn invisible. Would you like to polymorph as well? Sometimes I like to turn into a burning bush and scare the shit.
Wait. Okay, but also I guess you have to ask yourself like what is I feel like living forever would kind of be a punishment. Like imagine if like the earth exploded and you're just floating in space and you'll never die, right?
Get out of Moses.
Anyway, God turns Cain into the first vampire. The only downside, he can't walk in the light.
Oh, so that's actually so interesting. I didn't know the story was like actually like biblical in a sense. I didn't know it started with in like a biblical way with Cain. That's super cool. That is super cool.
To drink the blood of others to survive. God's true punishment is giving Cain the ability to sire children. But with immortality, the only thing left to fear is death itself. That fear becomes paranoia, jealousy, hatred, not for humans, but for your own kind. And that fear ends up consuming you. Just as Cain murdered his brother, he is now forced to watch for all eternity as generations of his own children murder each other. Where do you come
sounds
into
like
all
a good
of this?
time.
You're a random schmuck
Sounds fun.
who gets embraced against your will in a seedy LA hotel. When you wake up, you're a vampire. But before you get comfortable, the Camarilla boys break in, stake for both of you, and ship you off to vampire court. Turns out, siring vampires without permission is a big no-no and a violation of a masquerade.
Siring vampires is like making vampires, right?
Which is basically a loose set of rules to keep mortals from finding out about the supernatural and from realizing that Vladimir Tepes was in fact a high-level Tsimisi who turned Romanians into dining chairs, because if humans ever found
Yep, that'd do it. Yep.
Doubt. That's a guaranteed death sentence for every vampire on Earth. The judges make their verdict. Your sire gets decapitated by Magilla Gorilla, the African muscle man
Magilla Gorilla. Is that her real name?
Sebastian LaCroix, Camarilla Prince of LA. And you're next on the chopping block. Oh well, at least you got laid. However, Nines Rodriguez, leader of the LA Anarchs, protests against your immediate execution. Suddenly struck with a flood of emotion and newfound empathy, LaCroix decides to spare you your life. Instead, he sends you off on a suicide mission to get killed somewhere else. Clueless and alone, you're thrown into this game as an unwilling pawn in a world of darkness.
What? Oh, man. And you're a goddamn Malkavian, too. Wow. You really are fucked.
But as with any chess game, if you underestimate the pawn, you've already lost. Survive, understand, and identify the other pieces on your board. Once you do, you'll have to make a choice between being a player and being a pawn. And I should warn you, a pawn is always sacrificed to protect the king. Before you start, you have to pick your clan. There are 7 to choose from. They're generally very interesting and offer unique approaches to the game. Bruja and
they look like
Gangrels
roadkill.
are hobos and furries, respectively. They're very hot-tempered and have poor
Hobos and furries,
impulse
okay.
control.
Sounds like the
Premier can do
VTuber
this.
world. Oh, dude, it like blew up the other person
basically
too.
Undead blood mages. Toreador are
Undead
the
blood
very
mages,
definition of vampire sluts. Being a room temperature piece of ass does have its advantages though, and lets you get what you want without conflict. Ventru
Room
are
temperature
like
piece of ass.
vampire aristocracy. Basically, they're assholes who think they're too good for sucking off a homeless.
How dare they? Oh my god.
Don't say that
I knew
to
a few
their
people like
face,
that in high
though,
school.
or you might find your neck snapped. Nosferatu are hideously deformed.
Ugh.
Women ignore you or call the police
gross.
when they see your face.
Yeah, what'll it be? Lord! Oh, sweet Jesus!
It's like me when I go outside. And VTubers when they go outside.
Don't be sneaking up on a brother with your crackhead skin disease test tube baby looking ass. Damn near shit my pants.
Oh my god, dude.
I don't sell no soap, so what the hell you want?
So, really, no different from being alive. Malkavians
Oh my god, dude, they
are
look like
batshit
they look like a crackhead 6 foot Dobby. It's like Dobby if he was a crackhead and 6 feet tall.
insane. Their curse makes them unhinged, unstable, and even worse, completely lucid and prophetic. They can also spread
Sounds like my
this
sisters,
insanity
okay.
to others. As a result, they've got some of the
That's my
best
sisters.
interactions and dialogue options in the entire game. Which may or may not include talking to stop signs and being interrogated by your own television.
Talking
and that
to
the source
stop
of the
signs.
detonation possibly came from you. Hey, heard anything? Kind of musky.
It's no
Talking
small
to the
secret that
television.
Clan Malkavian is my favorite. If it's your first time playing Bloodlines, I recommend playing any clan which isn't Malkavian or Nosferatu. Why? Because the Madness Network isn't random. It's foreshadowing. It's knowledge you know but shouldn't. And all of these revelations will go over your head when you can't make sense of it. Also, getting spotted out in the open is an instant Masquerade violation for Nosferatus, which can result in your immediate death. It's better for seasoned players who already know who and where everyone and everything is. Also,
Yeah,
I hope
they're
you
the
like
ugly
sewers,
ones.
because
The
you're going to
ugly
be
ducklings.
seeing a lot of sewers as a
Are they like the more
Nosferatu.
purebred-
Hope you pack
like
snacks. But why would I
purebred,
play this old-ass
vampires?
game a second time, Seth? I got a lot of stuff to do. I got a reading to catch up on. Because, you goddamn zoomer, the game
Say Dojin.
isn't very long. Length
Gosh, what
isn't
happened
the
there?
point of it. It's the choices you make. And there's a lot of different choices you can take depending on your character, which come back to help or
Some of
haunt
them-
you in the future.
This honestly, despite the older graphics, it does look pretty good. I can see like I can see like for the time it was released, I can see why this would be such a cult classic. Honestly, it looks great for the time that it was released, and also, you never really got games with this much like with the like the detail in this game that you would
It's a
expect.
very well contained and believable world that never breaks your suspension of disbelief. You might be turned off by the vampires, and to tell the truth, I was too. So was my mom, and now she's probably finished the game more times than me. Because
His
this
mom's a
game
gamer?
isn't
Oh, that's
about
crazy.
vampires, the undead, or the supernatural. It's about humans, and regardless
Honestly,
of
gamer parents are so interesting to me. I've never known like parents that were gamers until like recently. Honestly,
whether they're mortal or damned flesh, they
yeah,
all
like some of the character designs look great for the graphics that the game has. Like this guy looks awesome.
act, think, and feel human. They've got real fears, hopes, and motivations, which drive their character. Every single character, no matter how central or insignificant they are to the plot, are written fantastically well. And that's the main praise you hear for this game. The story and the dialogue, which has some goddamn amazing voice acting.
Yeah, so I think this is one of those games that has like this is one of those games where like your choices actually really matter, right?
I am the proprietor and salesman of the month several years in a row. The ladies call me, oh God, but you can can call me Fat Larry with a F-A-T, because I know I got a weight problem. I just don't give a fuck.
I love this guy.
This is not so lifeless. Your nerves not so deadened that you cannot express shock.
Bro, why is this octopus Russian? Why this octopus got such a strong Russian accent? Is this what octopus sound like?
Child, is my appearance that frightening? Or is it my knowledge of you that is so unnerving?
Hey! Welcome to Sang's Herbal Remedies. I am Sang. How may I assist you? Selling remedies is honest work. I came to America after discharge from Chinese Herbal Remedies forces.
Oh my God.
Aging parents with store. Definitely, I am now American citizen. God bless the Allegiance flag. Chinese invented gunpowder. Yes, I know guns. Hold on, please. These are good remedies for many problems. No credit cards.
Oh my God, just PNGs.
Kids don't know nothing.
No more Yankee, my wanky. The finger need food.
Through most of the game, you're given tasks to complete by LaCroix. These serve as the main quest line, and you'll need to finish them to progress the story and unlock new locations. You'll get to meet the other major powers in LA as well. There's the Camarilla, which uphold the status quo and enforce the Masquerade religiously. Anarchs, who respect the Masquerade but hate the politics and hierarchy.
That makes you wonder, like, honestly, it would be, I feel like it'd be super cool if, it'd be really, really cool if vampires existed, but at the same time, it'd be really fucked up if vampires existed, you know, like, because it'd be cool on one hand, because that's just like, oh, that's really neat. That's like I feel that's a very like that proves so many things, like spirituality and things beyond our comprehension. But also at the same time, they probably kill a lot of people. So it's like,
the Sabbat, who don't give a shit about the Masquerade and seek dominion over mankind. And finally, there's the Kuei Jin, Asian vampires that have recently moved into Chinatown.
What the did he look like? Is that who I think he was? Okay, never mind.
And filled it with gacha machines. They use the
Sounds about
negative
right.
chi formed by gambling, organized crime, and gacha balls to fuel their aggressive business practices. Besides the main story, there's dozens of side missions to complete. None of these are your standard fetch quests either. They force you to think and decide for yourself how to best approach them. Completing missions is important, since that's your only way of getting the experience points necessary for upgrading your character. Most of them can be resolved peacefully by talking or
This really does make me wonder how the new game's going to perform, if the new game's going to be good or not. Because these kinds of games, there's so much, they're so much easier to make. They're so much easier to produce with like lower fidelity graphics because they're like there's so many different paths these games can have, and so many different like choices that can affect the entire world, to where it's like if you have a really incredible graphics, it's so hard to bake that much content into the game. You know, that's why you have games like RimWorld or like other like lower fidelity games like graphically that have just boatloads of really great content and mechanics. It's because due to how easy the graphics are, like due to how easy it is to make content for the game, they're able to make a lot more of it at a higher quality than if you have like a really high graphical quality game, right?
Of them, however, cannot. And whether it's from other vampires or the same dude in a wife beater copy-pasted 200 times, violence is inevitable. So building your character to be a smooth-talking, anemic slug might not be the best idea. There's a lot of nightclubs in this game, by the way. They're a good place to feed. They've also got some pretty good music. You can also dance. Even outside, there's some very nice ambience to fit the mood. It makes you feel like you're actually
we got
there.
some like this game's got some like Xena Warrior Princess graphics.
Taught me that Santa Monica is a shithole. So don't feel bad about the people you kill there. In a way, you're saving them from the pain of living in Santa Monica. Bloodlines controls quite simply. You play it in first person while interacting with objects and NPCs, and you pan out to third person whenever you're in combat. Combat can be enjoyable, but mostly It is not enjoyable. Combat boils down to mashing left click while desperately scrolling with your mouse wheel and smashing right click to reactivate blood buff. Oh yeah, every clan's got vampire superpowers or disciplines unique to their bloodline.
This does seem like one of those games.
Cost a lot of
it does seem like one of those games that's more interesting to focus on the world and the story and the dialogue and everything, right?
Blood to use, but they're visually impressive. They can end fights instantly, and they break the monotony of endless button mashing while hoping and praying that your enemy's life bar is smaller than your own. You could use guns instead, but unless you've invested skill points into firearms, you might be dead by the time you take a shot. Outside of combat, you'll be doing everything from investigating serial murders to evicting unfriendly spirits out of hotels. The Ocean House Hotel is there to remind you that just because you're a spooky bloodsucker doesn't mean you're not capable of terror. The Ocean House is so infamous that it's got its own console command to skip the entire sequence. It's probably one of the best horror segments I've ever seen in a game, and they managed to do it without a single jump scare. Just a feeling of pure condensed dread. Your inventory is conveniently...
That's actually interesting. I didn't know this game had like horror elements. That's actually awesome. Horror games are something like near and dear to me. I absolutely love horror games. I played through all of them. There just hasn't been enough. So super interesting. This game has like an act that is just based on horror.
So you never have to worry about space. You'll pick up useful items like blood bags and firepower, and less useful items like birth control and estrogen pills. This game's difficult, and there's a few frustrating points in the story.
Oh, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell is that? What the hell? What is that? What is that? Huh? Dude, what is that?
Point number one,
oh my God.
Hollywood sewers. At some point in the story, you have to find the Nosferatu, as they've gone into hiding for reasons unknown. This has
probably because
nothing
they're
to do
vampires
with
and
the
scary.
3 billion Tamisi flesh puppets clogging up every sewer drain. And you're gonna have to fight them
3
all,
million.
including this big bitch who throws spare ribs at you. Also, there's no blood down in the sewers, so I hope you brought an entire fridge supply of blood with you. Good luck. Luckily, the unofficial patch fixes this completely. The good old games copy comes with a patch pre-installed, so you can take a convenient shortcut and save yourself the pain of going through this programmed hell. Point number 2, Werewolf Park. In this universe, werewolves are incredibly rare, but they're also invincible killing machines. In fact, you can't fight this puppy at all. It's immune to damage and can stun lock you to death in several swipes. This all happens in the span of 5 seconds.
It's literally immune to death.
So most players never even get the chance to understand what
it's like a death club. Even death clubs can die
before they meet their final death. Again, and again. Even though it kills you in 5 seconds, you're expected to survive for about 5 minutes. Oh, and forget about regenerating your health. Werewolf claws burn through your flesh, so it can't be healed back. However,
seems a little unfair.
Years of dying to that
you can't even like burn it to death.
I found out you can actually kill it. What the hell? How was I supposed to know that you're actually meant to run into the observatory, flick the circuit breaker outside, run back in, open the dome, lure it into the dome, and crush it to death? How the hell was I supposed to know that? The answer is, I didn't. I had to look it up on the wiki. After years of suffering through the same mission each playthrough, this is oddly satisfying. However, if you can endure past those rough patches in the story, you'll start piecing together what's going on. The concern and focus of every major faction in LA is in
he looks
one
like a
way or
politician
another
I've seen.
centered on the arrival of a certain archaeological treasure, the Ankaran sarcophagus, which throughout the game has a bad habit of getting stolen. What's inside? Who knows? An old Assyrian king or a slumbering antediluvian, one of the oldest granddaddy vampires out there, who, if you traced your blood far back enough, might be
Cain?
one of your original fathers. Half the city
Cain?
believes the latter. They also believe that the moment Father Dearest wakes up from his slumber, he's gonna be hungry. Real hungry, and he'll sate that hunger by feasting on his children. Wherever we go, it is the blood of Cain which makes our fate. Your fate and the fate of the Ankaran sarcophagus are inescapably intertwined. Will you open up the sarcophagus or seal it away for all eternity?
That is probably like the coolest part of the story that I have heard. I had no idea I had no idea this story was so tied, was tied biblically to the story of Cain and Abel. That is actually such a cool way to start a story, honestly.
That choice is up to you. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, a very unique, flawed, and fantastic diamond of a game. Terrible combat, 0 out of 10.
Terrible
As
combat.
Always, more content to come, so stay tuned.
Yeah, I would love to check out the new one. I don't know if I'd play this one, but I would love to check out like the newer ones that are coming out. But like I said, it's really hard to get a game like this with the graphical fidelity they're going after for the new games.
Fucking with you. 10 out of 10. One of my favorite and one of the most replayable RPGs of all time. There's very few games out there that keep pulling you back over and over again and still manage to make each playthrough different, and this is one of them. Go buy it. Go play it.
It does seem like a really good game, honestly.
Get sucked into the atmosphere. Get a craving addiction for it and replay it every few years for the rest of your natural life, because there's nothing quite like it.